I don't want every game that I interact with to have those type of systems. I want my games to be made with passion, creativity, and I want the people making those games to have the funds to be able to afford the life that they want to live while also creating the art that they enjoy. Alright, so I figured the people at Bungie are having a bad week, and I figured since we're enjoying the work of these artists so much, it's only right that we speak about the things that are happening to them. But yeah, 2 months after they released the final shape, Bungie decided to lay off 220 employees. Now, mind you, the final shape is declared as Bungie's best expansion so far, and is only reinforced by their Metacritic score, which is 89, and they got a user score of 7.7. Those type of numbers are right on par with like Witcher Blood and Wine's DLC and Elden Ring. Like 89.
But
Go ahead.
But didn't you and I, or we were talking about it, that isn't that their last DLC though? That's kind of tough too.
Looking
Or
further in
it
my
was
notes,
speculated.
it was speculated, but apparently they had another DLC. I'm looking at my notes. It was called Code Name. I'll find it as I keep reading, but I'll let you know. But anyway, last year in October, they had already laid off 100 people. And
Right.
the reason they were doing that is because they were afraid of Sony coming in and taking over. Right now, Bungie is like a subsidiary of Sony, and their board is split in half between heads at PlayStation and heads at Bungie. And the split
Double
is,
dipping the chip, boy.
not only that, but the Pete Parson, the CEO of Bungie, he acts as like a what do you call it? Like a tie vote. He's the one that can sway the difference in like the voting, because there's like 5 of them. But
That just sounds whichever way's going to deepen that pockets. That's
Right.
what that sounds like.
but if they don't meet the quota, Lord, Santa.
I don't want to hear shit
So
about my fumbling of words ever
I
again.
immediately went back to that.
Phantom Bean. I don't want to hear anything else.
Sony is allowed to dissolve the board and absorb Bungie. My God.
Okay.
Right.
So keep going. We got it.
Yeah, this fear of a takeover is what caused Bungie leadership to just, get fire employees. But not only that, they reduced their travel budgets. They destroyed holiday bonuses. You no longer get any cost of living adjustments, and any other extracurricular activities that you were participating in. Those also were taken out, like knitting classes. Apparently, they had those in the building.
Excuse me? I guess it could be calming. I've never done it, but I'm sure it's calming.
You want some cow lore?
Okay.
I know how to crochet.
Do you?
Yeah.
Who taught you how to crochet?
My ex.
Oh,
God. She loves.
Oh, that is
crochet.
right. That is
Yeah.
right. That's right. I totally forgot about that. I didn't think she taught you though, or that
Yeah.
you had the patience to do that.
Yeah, I do.
Well, nice. Okay. That's
Um,
wow.
Continuing on, because of this, employees obviously call the environment soul crushing, and I want to note that in spite of working in those conditions, they still delivered an incredible expansion. But let's be honest, working in that type of environment with a guillotine above your head every day, it's just
not fun.
Yeah, it's not fun. Even when IGN was reporting this back in October, and an anonymous source told them, quote, "We know we need Final Shape to do well, and the feeling at the studio is that if it doesn't, we're definitely looking at more layoffs," end quote. But it turns out that regardless that the DLC did well, and yet
They
still
still caught an axe?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's shitty.
I also want to note that on June 4th, the day of the release, the Final Shape brought in 300,000 players at its peak, and it stayed around 100,000 for a month after. Do you know how many games would
That's
love
really
for that
good.
type of
That's really good. especially in the life cycle that it's at.
Right.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad would murder for that type of player base.
Well, and then you got to think they opened up that legacy pack too. I mean, too, that got us on it. I mean,
Right.
they have to have good numbers, but to still cut. I mean, I guess I get it though. I mean, if they're really fearing a takeover, because you know what they're gonna do as soon as they take it over, they're just gonna whack people anyways. I mean, that's just a
Right.
shitty feeling.
It's
It's
usually
gonna be
people you
hard
don't
being a
want to.
developer, man. Hell yeah.
Who would want to be a developer? That's
Today, I
right.
wouldn't.
I'm like, because no matter what, this the same thing happened. It's like the same sentiment that happened with Tango Gameworks. I don't know if you heard about that or read about it, or even if I told you. But
Probably.
Tango Gameworks made Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush, they actually stealth launched Hi-Fi Rush. There was no marketing for it, but the game did astronomically well. Like, people loved it, ranted and raved about it. Whole studio got closed by Microsoft. Everybody gone.
Squeeze every bit of juice out of it and let them go.
Right. But continuing on, that, like I said, that was back in October. But now, on July 31st, Bungie CEO Pete Barnes, he put up a blog post to their website. He blamed the layoffs on the increasing cost of development and economic conditions. Also, he says that Bungie grew too fast and leadership was spread too thin amongst their departments. He goes on to say, quote, "We were overly ambitious, our financial safety margins were subsequently exceeded, and we began running in the red." Whose fault is that? Who?
You know whose fault that is.
From my perspective, it would seem that the man whose these things that he's complaining about fit into a specific job description that you need to be taken care of, and that sounds like the CEO's job. So if you are the reason for putting the company in the red, how come you don't have any consequences put against you? How come
because he's the head of the snake, that's why. And he can't go just yet. That's the last resort, unfortunately. So some good people that were following direction from up above get whacked, and he still gets to come in every day drinking a $12 fucking coffee.
It's crazy that you brought that up, because I read just a little short thing on Twitter where one community manager said that one Friday, right before they had those layoffs, she was talking to somebody else about how she can barely afford groceries, and then the CEO walks in the lobby and comes up to them talking about these 2 expensive cars he just bought and invited them to come back to the house, completely just out of touch with what's going on with his workers. And also, they probably don't even can't afford the gas to even get to your house. Like, that's not a luxury they can take if they can barely afford food on the table. Just a little bit of lighter, well, not so bad, is that the number of layoffs would have been higher, but 155 other employees will be absorbed by Sony into their departments.
I mean, at least they're getting absorbed.
Yeah, those 155 got lucky. So now, as of right now, Bungie has lost 40% of its workforce. They're now down to 800 from the 1,200 that they had last year. Fortunately, for those that were leaving, they will be offering severance, health coverage. They didn't say how long, obviously, but although I did read,
but at least again something though.
Yeah, I did read that one pregnant woman didn't qualify for health coverage because the baby hadn't been born yet. So
what? Never mind. Just never mind.
It's so stupid. It's funny.
Ignorant.
Like, it's
ignorance.
Hang on.
Oh boy.
Amidst these layoffs, though, Bungie says they're working on PlayStation to develop Marathon. I had no idea what Marathon is, so I looked it up. It's like a sci-fi extraction shooter that they're working for that's been incubating for some time now, and they're trying to get that up and running as fast as possible.
What? You laying off developers left and right? They're gonna drag their feet trying
right.
to milk them paychecks.
They're hoping to form a new studio within PlayStation Studios to continue with the development. And they said that they will continue to work on Destiny and Marathon in the coming future. And there hasn't been any reports of them going to work on like Destiny 3. Like, as far as we know, developers just put on like small updates for Destiny. It seems like they're pushing hard for Marathon. It's going to be like their next live action.
Okay.
Live service. Jesus.
Yeah. So you want some water? You gonna make it?
We'll see. The Bowberry biscuits got me high. Got me pumped. If you live in the South, you know all about them Bowberry biscuits. Talk to me.
I need to have one. I need to experience what this is. It
I'll
doesn't come
bring
this
some
far
to you.
south.
Oh yeah, I'm
Well,
gonna bring
you know
some
right
to
now.
you. You don't know. You just don't know what you're missing.
I don't, and I'm really upset because I have a sweet tooth of a fucking child. So I know I would like it. I just need to get one.
But yeah, obviously the reaction to this by the player base has just been like fury. That's the one word that encapsulates everybody's tone. People have been calling for Pete to step down on Twitter. Developers talking about they've lost their entire teams. It's just them left. Some getting laid off just a month after being promoted. Others claiming that there was nothing they could have done to not be laid off, even though they have shown like for years that they're just completely obsessed with their work. Like there was just nothing that they could have done to avoid. Even Lord Daddy, we both just started learning about him. My name is Biff. God. He hit back at Bungie on X, formerly known as Twitter. He said, leadership needs to be changed. Your decisions have consistently led to disaster for everyone who has actually been making the games we play. They've been reckless with the studio, its employees, and its franchises. The problem is clear. Bad leadership needs to change. I completely agree. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Sad, man. It's real sad.
You and Pete share a common thing. No, he has a thing for classic cars. A Twitter account by the name of Destiny Nostalgia posted a photo reel of the 17 classic cars Pete has bought since 2023, and I did look at one of those classic cars, and Pete has a 1967 GT500 sitting there.
Now we're talking. That's a beautiful car.
Fuck him, but he has taste.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if you had that much money, you can have a real good taste too. But yeah, no, fuck you. If you brought two brand new high value cars to work while people are struggling, that's a shit move. That's a shit move.
Asking for that shit to get keyed.
You know what? I'm surprised somebody didn't walk out there and etch their damn initials on the side of it and keep it moving.
He must not drive. There's no way I would see him driving that to work. I really don't.
Anything to work.
Right. See me in a damn, I don't know, Pinto, something beat down.
Yeah, no, man, that's crazy. That's unfortunate, man. I feel for the developers. That's a tough gig, man.
And you know, obviously when they found out this news about him having all these cars, of course the fan base went crazy. But you know, they have every right to, because if this has happened, if Pete has been, nobody cares like what he does with his own money in his spare time. Let's be honest.
Right.
But it's kind of crazy that, you know, we find this out. That it's a $2.2 million collection that he has. But
it's a nice collection.
In after these layoffs, there hasn't been any talk about him taking any pay cut or anything. Like what?
No, because he's not going to.
Yeah, like there's nothing that the CEO is giving up. He still gets to live a comfortable life. And let's be honest, even if he were to take like a 10-20% pay cut, he would still live comfortably. Let's be honest. Because you know he gets bonuses based off of how well this company does. Isn't that how most CEOs work? That's where you get bonuses based on
You would think. I'm sure he's got a good pay system for sure. But a lot of the big CEOs and stuff like that, they're not walking off that money.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. Did you have any other thoughts?
Nope, not at all. I mean, I hope they still, because I'm really into it right now, I do hope they still continue supporting Destiny. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I really do hope they kind of fix the developer thing out there. Obviously, that's not my field of profession, but I feel for you ladies and gentlemen out there that are doing that. That is, holy shit, what a volatile world that they work in, man. I hope it stables out there, man, and these big companies, Microsoft and PlayStation, get their shit together, man. Because
Right.
you're fucking with people, and that's crazy, man.
I
Like
don't want
lots
it-
of people too.
I don't want every game to end up like Call of Duty where they're starting to use AI for skins. I don't want every game that I interact with to have those type of systems. I want my games to be made with passion, creativity, and I want the people making those games to have the funds to be able to afford the life that they want to live while also creating the art that they enjoy. But yeah,
I'm ready to see the passion projects.
right.
It'd be great.
Those make great games.
Mhm.
But yeah, that wraps up the video, everybody. We appreciate you guys for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. It helps out a small channel like us. Help us get to 100 subscribers. We're at 72 right now.
Let's
Thank you
go.
enough for all the support. Like I said, hit that bell so you never miss a video, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.